really solid, really stable, and very hard to lose with.
And very just Newbee-esque. You've got How and Expected. The pop is something they do every now and then. It's not like a bread and butter core pick of theirs, but something they're going to be very comfortable with. And when you get a 5th pick Bounty Hunter in a game where there's a lot of squishy heroes that Bounty's great against, the Rubik and the Io, going to be feeling very happy with you. So I expect Kaka to be very disruptive this game. Not sure how comfortable he is on this hero. It's not something you often see him on, but Kaka's already proven time and time again what a great 4-position player he can be.
He seems like such a versatile player. Like, you can put him in any hero and he'll just learn it as time goes by. And how hard is it to learn a Bounty Hunter? I move around, I track people, brilliant, I leech, and I'm just a nuisance. More than anything else. I'm surprised, like, no early orb. He's sacrificing himself more as his bounty.
Oh, he just delivered on the career.
Okay, never mind. Take it all back. Now everything looks a lot more normal.
Yep, got down the early aggressive wards, 1 high ground, 1 mid, 1 to block the full camp.
30 seconds.
We're looking to use that vision as much as possible to be a nuisance here in the early game.
I really want to see how compLexity go in their laning phase. How much success you can have with the Swindles off-lane Nyx Assassin. It is up against Hal's Spectre, so Hal is not going to be too bothered by the Nyx's presence in the lane. But it's more like, how much work does Chorn do? We haven't seen Chorn on his line in a very long time, primarily because everyone keeps banning it out within the first turn. This time, Newbee actually get it. His rotations have been brutal throughout the group stage. Will he be able to replicate that same kind of stuff now?
And I think one of the big problems is that, Swindles isn't on a comfort pick. Game 1 is the bat, game 2 it's the Nyx, and a big reason where I feel like that happens in the draft is because for the 2nd game in a row we see Newbee with 1st pick. In game 1, compLexity took a gamble and chose Dire's side, perhaps the strategy in mind they want to on Dire. And then game 2, it's Newbee's choice. They're like, well, we want 1st pick because we get the Beastmaster, we ban Darkseid, we take Beastmaster. This time around, Beastmaster's banned out, but those are really been Swindle's 2 most successful heroes, so he doesn't get his hands on either.
Swindles is taking a classic Jimmy position right now. In the trees, he used an early tango.
I like it.
To cut through. It's just so he can get experience on the top lane.
And they're not expecting him to be there. They're perhaps expecting him to be Iron Talon jungling right now or something. They may scout it out a bit later on. He is going to poke his head out in the lane and see Chuan, so he'll come over to the pull camp and leech what XP he can.
Yep.
But he wants to prevent Chuan from getting the pull through, which won't be possible here with Swindle nearby.
That way, it's all about the XP leech, get up to level 6, and then have a presence across the map.
Yeah, but he's about to hit level 2, he's just 3 experience points away, so already we're seeing him at least get some XP out of this lane. Bottom lane though, similar story, the KP off-lane Tide should do pretty well, even has some help from Kaka's Bounty Hunter. So, I imagine we'll see a bit of pressure and hopes going the way of Hanskin's Io.
I'm wondering if Kaka's also staying down here. Like, it's nice to harass down Hanskin, but just until he hits his level 2, because then he'll have an effect over on Chessie in the mid. Only thing too is also the other sentry ones that were planted in the mid lane. They are both just out of range of each other.
I mean, that's great for Chessie. That heavily favors him because his sentry scouts out the Bounty rotations.
Swindles trying to body block him up. Z-Freak's coming over. Telekinesis is available, but then again, Hal's also here. And Hal, he'll Spectral Dagger onto Z-Freak, more of an intimidation thing, making sure that Z-Freak doesn't have the confidence to keep pushing to go for Telekinesis.
So both safe lanes should be able to at least maintain a decent level of farm. Spectre for now, out-farming the respective farmer in the Tiny. Tiny actually has a bit of a rough time against Tide. And that's where I think Kaka is spending time down bottom. Not expecting to get kills, but knowing that with a Tide plus Bounty harass, Tiny will not free farm. You can slow down that blink timing of Limps, which he loves to rush to try and tempo control the game.
For now though, he's still staying in the farm. Kaka only for his rotations to really make a play.
Trouble, they go
very good. Kaka's ready to have a crack at this. The avalanche from Limp will buy a limited space, but KP still with the Anchor Smash. Hanskin survives 39 HP. They'll pick up Kaka, drag him back with Z-Freak, but you've still got a Tide Hunter. Very problematic to fight into this, especially when he's got Gush. Hanskin must keep his distance.
Yeah, a bit of a gamble there going for the appointing Gush. He also still had Fairy Fire, so Hanskin was not as close to dying as it perhaps. The Tiny coming in to make sure I didn't force Limp to commit a few spells, but with a magic stick he's still got mana to play around with and to contest this lane.
Swindle's been having a pretty damn good time up on top lane. Obviously, Hal's farming like an absolute beast, but Swindle's with the early experience. Chon not really having his insane progression with pulls over, as we said, like Swindle's was body blocking it out.
And that's a key thing for compLexity, I feel. The games where they struggle is when Swindles has a rough lane. He gives up a couple kills, he struggles to find his levels, and even some farm. And when you see games where he has these good early starts,
top lane. Yeah. We start praising Swindles, and of course now they start doing the shit on him. He'll get himself a double impale stun. He's got TP.
No
Actually, no, yeah, there's no mana. So he's spying Carapace, tries to keep that salve going. But Sean's got another stun up in 1 second time. So, yep, there's your impale. And this will be first blood. It'll go the way of Spectre.
The curse has never been more real. Oh, Swindles, he's having a great time, Toby. Yeah. He's doing fine. He's going to off to a good start.
Hey, at least to see the first blood downstream, they missed it here.
That's why we've got Weapers here.
Yeah. shout out to Weapers. Been working all day, every day, hard as ever.
And the Russian casters still haven't caught on to using dedicated observers.
I think they got one here though, right?
Okay.
Preparing on bottom lane. No, you're not. You've got Kaka right behind him.
Just level 3, so his combo's not doing a whole lot of damage. Tide's sitting on close to 900 hit points.
Yeah, they can't get through him. KP's a tank, he's got high movement speed. Bounty isn't getting a lot of level progression yet. We haven't really seen his influence in mid, but he doesn't really need to be there. Like this Chessie versus Moo matchup is a pretty even trade-off until you get like strong rotations over. And until Moo has his level 6, or even the same for Chessie, that's when both of them get kill potential. But I'm also seeing Chessie a full level buying the Queen of Pain this early on.
Yeah, Queen with 9 denies, goes for the double Null Talisman build. Chessie goes for the Sleight of Fist. He actually tries to dodge a Shadow Strike and misses it.
Swindle. Got no mana.
What's he doing now?
Karka's got Orb of Venom and Janata ready. Sean's gonna be in range. Sean's so low, Swindles thought he was safe because he brought Sean down so far. But now it's gonna be Karka to find the kill, putting him up to level 3. Having those 3 heroes involved, more space for this Spectre to farm up.
Yeah, this is the lane depth you don't want to see.
They're going to head the bottom lane. Looks like KP, they'll initiate in on the Tide Hunter, but they have nowhere near enough damage this. You just chip him down a little bit. Meanwhile, middle lane, there's your initiation from Moo.
Well, that's where the level advantage kicks in.
Yeah, I said level 6 would be the sweet spot.
Well before Ember. He gets to level 6 when Ember's just hit level 5.
Did he cap the Ember when Flame Guard was down?
He must have just gone like right after the Flame Guard, or he just burst himself through it, because the Sonic Wave being pure damage and all. Newbee going to be very happy with how both top and... I mean, all 3 lanes are going, in a lot of ways, Newbee favored. This bottom lane is being... not one in terms of CS, but in terms of an off-lane Tide getting as much levels and farms as he is, that to me is a win in itself.
Bottom lane, there's your Hex starting over on Limb. The Panther Hunter, he just tries to get out of this with the rotation in.
Okay, now all 3 lanes definitely won.
Yeah.
You found kills everywhere. The first Spectre Haunt gets a double kill at bottom on the IO Tiny. Flame was already going well for the Spectre in terms of farm. How I believe has... Okay, he's not going on, he's going to pick up his Ring of Aquila first.
Kind of almost wish the Hound didn't come in for that, because they kind of had that kill down anyway, because you rotated Queen of Pain over. Like, Moo gave that extra damage, that's the way they found out the IO. Even just triggering the Haunt to be involved in it, and then coming back up to the top lane may be better. But he also dodged the movement from Z-Freak. Z-Freak was looking for some kind of opening on top.
Yeah, and it's the Newbee classic where you almost... Sometimes it looks like you over-rotate, but it's first kind of approach where it's like, let's just make sure we have enough heroes, so if compLexity TP in, like someone like Ember could have TP'd in there.
Z-Freak? Al's gonna be picked up, and Z-Freak knew he was dead. If he didn't do that and then straight TP out, Hal would have had that kill. But it's just because like Hal, that you're involved in that fight, but he doesn't TP to the top lane. He just walked all the way from bottom lane to top lane on a hero who was completely dominating the CS. So small space for Swindles, that's my only concern.
Yeah, Swindles hits level 6 now, so curious to see where his first big rotation is going to be.
Who's your priority target? Do you want to go on the almost invincible Tide?
I think Queen is a good hero to go for, because you've got this Ember who can initiate with the Searing Chain.
But that's a double Null Talisman Strength Tread Queen.
Still possible with Searing Chains into Impale plus Vendetta. He is Vendetta towards mid lane. May run into Chuan and go for that kill instead.
Chessie turns on the Flame Guard. They're going to spirit themselves up, initiating over towards Chuan. Moo ready to go. Sonic Wave's available, but the double stun from Swindle stops Move from getting the instant combo. Flying Carapace also available, and Move's giving it respect, but now, yeah, you see him. He faded out to start with, and she almost got interrupted by the telekinesis grab. That is going to be a 1-for-1 trade-off. The Swindles pitch one.
Nice cancel on the Sonic Wave from Move. He was about to Sonic Wave through a Carapace, saw the Carapace and was quick to cancel it. Then got stunned, but he didn't really care because he still had the Scream. And the best part about it is he still actually has Sonic Wave. So that 1-for-1 trade in mid ultimately favors Newbee, even though they were the ones ahead, and that often gives them a lot of gold because it was a big hero commitment. Complexity rotate most of their team, and has Haunt again. So this initiated by them, Haunt available, but they're not even going to need it.
No Sonic Wave needed, and no Haunt required. So all the big ultis for Newbee that allow them to go into these fights aggressively, they all exist. And the Observer One in mid understood the Complexity had no other support because Z-Freak was showing himself there.
And that's a scary thought that you still have Sonic Wave and Haunt available, as well as the Ravage, so any follow-up picks that Newbee can find, they can continue to go for. Tiny's going to respawn, but he can't even just TP back bottom down to farm. He's very likely going to go down there, and it's not just those three ultimates I mentioned. One's about to hit level 6 and have Finger of Death. Bounty approaching level 6 and Track. Everyone on Newbee getting a ton of experience here in the early game.
And then amplify it all with a nice early Veil of Discord maybe, or is it going to be an Orchid game? Either way, I don't think it really matters. Damage output from Newbee is still in a perfect position. And Complexity, we haven't really felt the impact of their supports, and maybe this is also something we can look back at the draft of Complexity. You start with an IO, you're mainly looking for that combination with a Tiny, but IO is still sitting at 4.5 levels, almost 10 minutes in. You don't have Relocate, you don't have that global kind of presence to work with. Your Rubik, Z-Freak's done the best he possibly can, he's rotating around, but the one time he moves to top lane, the rest of Newbee go to bottom lane. And then they slowly walk around, he looks for another kill, but he's trapped in mid while the kills happen again on bottom lane after he rotated down there before to help out. This movement just is not feeling strong from Complexity. They don't have control of this map at all.
And look at that. Mu actually considers going for the top rune and then thinks twice about it. He actually flips back mid and goes for the bottom rune instead, recognizing that Swindles was missing from the map. And if he goes for that top rune, he really gets initiated on by the Impale, and then a follow-up Searing Chains could bring him down. So really good map awareness from Mu's Queen of Pain and
Newbee. Smoke maneuver. They do this every time they play with Chorn's Lion. And the Observer One, however, is going to scout it out. They throw down their orbs, just around the corner, and they want to try and find them. Spectral Haunt, they'll go forward, the primary target. Where do you want a reality? It is actually going to be over on that Tiny. It's the Finger of Death timing. You know you're going to get a kill. Chessie, he's fighting into this, however. He has spirits available, but they're really slow with a double damage from Parker. They're going to have enough to work with, even the Ravage. It'll hit Swindles on the side. Won't move! Way too early. He was so patient on that before. This time being a little bit more, not vigilant with it. But with the buyback coming out from Chessie, they bring down Hal, and Newbee find themselves in a real rough position, but they're bailing.
Yeah, they'll lose just the Spectre for that. It was a buyback.
Yeah, a buyback from the Ember.
From Ember. So ultimately, yeah, Complexity perhaps punished some Newbee over-aggression by killing Spectre, and the Carapace timing hits Carapace both the Ravage and the Sonic Wave, but
they'll get a Karka
kill. Costly commitment to Complexity to even get those two kills in. Already Newbee are back to the lanes, looking to get some farm. Lion takes over the top, Tide's coming back bottom, so really a huge swing Complexity's way by any means.
It's kind of funny, you gain, like Newbee in the group stage, so they would have gained that advantage and then backed out straight away. Like that Sonic Wave as well, like you know the Tide like hit that Ravage. I don't know if they actually had the proper vision around the corner, but either way, Newbee just having some poor engagements, and now they'll lose their tier 1 tower on bottom lane, giving Complexity a little bit of a window, a little bit of progression as well. Shuriken Toss is going to actually stop Swindle's TP out, but the tower still belongs to Complexity, and Lift's progression is going to get better and better. Yeah, it looks like an early blink as well. From
the blink is the big item timing for Complexity as far as their draft goes. Get himself up top, and I think recognizing that without Sonic Wave, Haunt, as well as Ravage, not a good time for Newbee to be fighting. And that's where it's really nice that Complexity commit as many heroes as they do to push bottom lane, because there's no real response available until these ultis come back up.
He really wants Karka. Karka is leeching his level 6 down here, or I say that, he's increasing. Yeah, now he's got his track up. Another thing to keep in mind too when you got Newbee on the field, Complexity fights which may look even, now the track is also involved.
Yeah, Z-Freak's just gonna go run back bottom to hug his tower, because Spectre Haunt coming up means he's just straight up dead to the bounty plus Haunt.
Yep. Swindle's just pinged out Mu. I don't know if Moo actually saw him because it's nighttime phase.
They're gonna go for this. He retracts. He's just like trying to force TPs down here or something. Zephyric's like, get me out of here.
Swindles finally got spotted by the Dire Observer in the Radiant jungle. So they know where Swindles is ganking, and that means Hal. He's still cautious on this top lane. PMS, a casual Vit booster, looking for that earlier life.
Interesting to note, Chessie has gone for a very early tread, so we won't be seeing the Boots of Travel pick up from Ember Spirit. It does synergize nicely with the Io having the Boots of Travel, but he just wants to have as much survivability as possible here in the early game, and recognizing that things aren't going so well for complexity, so decides to have a more kind of tanky fighting build this stage. Limbs Blink online up top, and this is where the Vit booster for Hao is kind of a really value pickup. When that tiny combo is there, they actually scan him out with a scan. They know exactly where at least someone is. They don't know it's Hao, but someone's up.
The Limb Blinks, with this movement, they don't even see him. Spirit's in, Hao, Spectral Dagger, he gets over the tree line! He dodges the avalanche as well! The stun will be there on KP. Ravage is available, but then again, so is Firecrackers for Swindles. The trigger it now, the relocate on the way, the stun, it doesn't actually cancel the relocate. They pull two of them out. Complexity, they'll burn Ravage, they'll burn Horn over on Newbee and have no real collateral until Hanskin. Well, he's gonna come back. And he actually comes back with Swindles.
They wanted to fight?
The rest of complexity, but on the same page until Limp will now jump in to get the avalanche off while Ravage is down. You can't believe we're going to do it, but that's on it beforehand. It's so hard for a move. The finger will be there as well.
That's track money starting to get for Newbie. That's a big problem. Moo could not have shown up at a better time to clean up there, and oh boy. Gold going towards the bounty as well as the Queen of Pain there at the end. Bounty gets 1,400 gold out of that fight. Arcane boots another 800. Accelerates that mech timing, and he make a risky choice to try and re-engage there. The Tiny was in the neighborhood with Rubik, and the blink initiation from Limp was good, but once he used his full combo and killed off Hal, there was no real follow-up damage. It was all about Tiny able to kill one, but he can't do more than that unless somehow they disengage and wait for that combo to come back up.
Chessie, don't get hacked. Chessie's gonna get hacked. Someone's gonna follow up and he'll go down. Chessie thought he was fine. He had a Spirit on the Radiant side of the river just to the east of that tier 1 tower.
Oh boy.
But Sean TP'd into the tree line, got it off perfect. Chessie probably thought he was fine. He's still up the hill. He knew no one was over near the secret shops. There's no one looping around. He just wasn't ready for a TP in the side of Fog of War. And Sean, you see the reason why you ban out that Lion.
He's so good on this hero, and he's going to have an incredibly fast blink timing at this rate as well. Not as fast as some of the other ones we've seen in this tournament, some of the lead-up tournaments, but 1,800 gold just 16 minutes in. Track money assisting his itemization as well. 5 sentries on Bounty Hunter. Whoa.
Okay. Guess you want to remove a little bit of vision, huh? He's gonna find this one Obsor, will he? With 5 sentries, you'd think he's gonna get it. Yeah, he goes invis under it.
Also for the Nyx, I mean,
yeah, for the
Nyx, bit of both, but yeah, for dewarding for sure as well.
Look at Swindles, like Swindles is trying to progress into some kind of mid-game power, going for this Hand of Midas build on the Nyx Assassin.
Yeah. Often you see this as like a secondary item pickup, like you go Arcane's Blink and then you go back for the Midas, but very much signaling that, I guess with the tiny Blink Dagger, he's not too worried about the lack of initiation on their team. Feels like he can just vendetta himself into the fight. And Complexity's timing is not now. They've had such a bad early game that they don't particularly take team fights into Ravage as well some way. So they maybe have to.
Lens gonna jump on him, the Observer around the corner, helps out that the Sonic Wave! Swindles to trigger the Spy Carapace now, Limp relocated out to safety! He'll just be able to make it! He will join the fight too! Locked in position with the Ravage! The burn is still there from the Flame Guard of Chessie, bringing down Move! KP wants more, but how? Now he turns attention over towards that tracked up Ember Spirit. It's a 2-for-1 trade-off. Remember, these tracks are still there. The Shuriken toss bouncing over up to Limp as well. Chessie is not a healthy man, but with no Ravage, no Sonic, no Horn, it's not really the fight you want. And Sean, he's so close to having, like, he needs the mana. Now he's got the mana. Finger of Death now available, and he just bought the Blink. If Newbee had that fight, like, maybe 30 seconds later, they'll be so much happier with what happened.
Okay for them. They got 2 kills just for the Queen of Pain. At least one of those 2 was a track kill as well. I believe both maybe, considering how farm Kaka is after that fight with 1k gold.
Smoke time again.
Yeah, they smoke up. They don't have the Ravage Sonic Wave.
It's Blink Finger.
They're hoping just for a track kill. Like a smoke for a track kill at this stage is fine, and they see Swindles without a Blink Wave.
There's your track, there's your Hex, no Spine Carapace, Finger committal. Yep. And the bounty will take the kill, so a 3-man track kill.
And then they had to use that smoke because the Observer would have scouted off lane.
KP's in trouble. Lem gonna throw KP back in. Makes the Dragon Shell, he's good. Hits the TP. You still have steering change, the TP was never gonna work.
Played the hood on cooldown, meant he didn't have that barrier block.
Kaka's got a double damage rune on him. I don't know if this is going to be enough damage to help out. He focuses over on T-Break, so the Shuriken's off damage. Limp very low. He'll go down. Chetty will follow too. And they bring down the Rubik.
And Hanson's coming back. Oh boy, this is going to be track after track after track. Bounty's already got an 800 gold from the fight. Throw another 300 or 400 in.
Oh, money, money, money. Newbee just rolling in it. 9k worth of net worth over on this Queen of Pain.
They didn't actually get the track on the IO?
Was it on cooldown? It looked like they got it.
Okay. I only got 322 gold. It didn't show on the team fight recap.
Really? Really? Is that one?
Yeah. That's how much.
Indeed.
Sometimes it just slips out, Toby, you know. Those are my favorite kind. The accidental one.
Unintentional offense is what I like to call it. Oh, but Newbee. So, it's 721 right now. Newbee have over 8.5k worth of net worth advantage. They're going to jump over on Boom and toss him back, but the blink happens before Chissy gets his searing chains off.
Looks like the chains just creeps as well.
Oh, Swindles doesn't even get there in time. Move, realizing something may be up. The Swindles inside of Vendetta looking for the opening. He'll get the sun over on KP again. Limp will jump forward. They'll throw around the Tide Hunter, but damn, he's just so tanky. Now the special ball goes to work. Where's your hit? There's your Ravage. After Swindles and Limp get caught, Hanskin low, and it's actually the sole damage from D-Freak, but is the space really enough? With Fable M, a lot of damage, the spill damage from Moo. It's just so high. The Sonic Wave is perfect. You brought down 3. Limp will fall as well to get the Orchid. It's a triple kill for Moo. Swindles will fall as well. An ultra kill for Moo. Newbee. And I feel like compLexity, Indiana Jones, unfortunately they can't run away from the boulder. They're trapped on the root.
Again, track kills as well kicking in. Bounty did die very early on in that fight. I think he got at most 1 track off, but also didn't have much mech, but even without using the mech, they still dominate that team fight. We're looking at mech plus pipe in the upcoming engagements as well, and that's where things just going to get scarier and scarier. And Moo's Quap Orchid BKB 20 minutes in. Good luck killing him when he's going to BKB this early on in the game.
I still love the fact that Hao is sitting with the same items he's had for the last 10 minutes.
And they're still just crushing team fights.
Yep. He's not even required. Moo is the superstar and Hao is basically like the understudy where he knows at one point Moo will start to drop off and then he'll take his place as number 1.
He's not like required to have items, but he is kind of required to be involved in these fights, and we're seeing if he's been in 21 of these kills, more than any of his team, just by pushing your horn, relocate, and bringing yourself in, getting very active, and just taking the spells. The Tiny's also used his combo going down.
Jesse! Ripped apart! You get the initiation. There'll be a revenge from Limp, but Moo moves forward. You don't have Ravage available, but Limp, he needs a relocate save, but he's going to get one. Swindles is right behind him. They're not going to find that fight. Does he bring back a friend? They might. Swindles is moving in, but the sentry wards are down. They see Swindles. Swindles going to get gushed on first. They'll just kill off Swindles. The Shuriken's off bouncing around. They're in a good position here for Limp just to initiate, but maybe now Moo's sent up, and the mech charge is there. The pipe has already been triggered. Damage output from compLexity was quite low. And Newbee have managed to take a fight here, which is fairly even. In fact, maybe not so even. Special on forward. Shuriken tosses again. Both of them are tracked, but all 3 are tracked up. The Avalanche fights in space, but not enough. There's your Blink Dream. D-Freak steals Blink, able to escape. But Limp is in the middle of 3 euros again. You'll get Tessie with a steering chain. Spirit committal. Does he even find one? The Spirit forward. He'll find Hal. Rakaka. Still the backline. The track is up. Maybe they can find more kills here with a Sonic Wave and the Orchid. Chessie will go down. All of these kills so far have been track kills going the way of Newbee.
track after track. Bounty's got Guardian Greaves and 2k gold! He just picks up these Greaves. He's got 8k net worth. Moo has 15 kills.
They got 4.2k gold from that fight, and I don't even think that's right. I actually think it's more. Now they find Swindle. Can they keep him alive long? Okay, yeah, you've already got it.
It's kill after kill. 33 kills in 22 minutes, and that's just Newbee's kills.
Oh my boy. Newbee to walk it all over complexity.
This is a very different Newbee we're seeing. A very aggressive, gank heavy. The way they're using this bounty plus Spectre co-op is just scary.
It's what we've seen from Newbee. It's the combination. It's the Moo-How combo. But not only that, it's the initiation as well that comes out from Chuan. Chuan sets it up so the two boys, the two big cores from Newbee, can just mow over the fight, and then KP is that interruption. Like normally you see like be a Bat Rider Lasso or a Beastmaster Roar initiation. In this case, it's a really scary AoE teamfight controller. And then they take advantage of it with Karka's Bounty Hunter. This lineup synergy has worked perfectly and will continue to work perfectly.
And Karka with a very early gem pickup. He can use this to make sure he's not walking under sentries, but problem is he may get scattered by this smoke. He could lose this if he's not careful. They dust him right away.
No, he's far enough away, and he's got a lot of friends behind him. It's the smoke loop around right now. How caught in the river. Who will move over? The Orchid's over on Chessie. What have they got with a relocate from Hanskin? He'll keep How will go down. There goes the Ravage Pop. Swindle actually gets a huge stun thanks to his spike carapace on him, but it's still a double kill for Moo. It's the Queen of Pain show. Z-Freak, the stun from Sean will hold him there. A triple kill for Moo. Now 19-1-5 over on this Queen of Pain. The only one keeping up right now is Limp, and he is so far behind still.
For a second, I'm like, is Hao going to buy back and hold? That fight could have gone even worse. Like, perhaps you get a Wisp kill, but Hao's like, okay, I'm almost at my Radiance, and guess what? Moo doesn't need me. We are the Hao and Moo duo, but every now and then he'll let Moo do it on his own. It's the Moo show right now.
He's got an observer watch, but Chuan, he plays it perfectly. Again, Hanskin, what can you do? Attend the same is what they try and do, but Limp will drop. And you notice Moo with a double damage.
He's got
enough damage. They're gonna find a double as well.
A double track kill. Another 1k gold to Bounty Hunter. He's got a hood. I think they could get double pipe here.
Why not? It's a quality.
Well, Moo, 1600 gold. Assault Caress leaked once he gets that courier to the side shop.
Hao's also just staring down the barrel of having a Radiant, so when he needs to direct attacks, like, you're almost relying on pure magical pop combo. Hey, Chessie needs Newbee to be 5-man grouped up together, all holding hands in a circle for him to slide a fist and kill them all. That's the only way that he can even pump out enough damage.
I mean, Moo's items you expect to see at like 35 minutes. We're just 25 minutes in. It feels like we're in the late game considering how fast some of these heroes are. Karka, uh-oh, that's a gem. He needs backup.
Or is it? Karka's so damn strong. He's got his own hood as well as 3 and 17 one charges. You can pick up Karka, you can throw him around, but now Moo comes in. Hao as well. It's a double kill for Hao. Oh boy, this game feels over. This game really.
Yeah, I'm looking in the booth and Swindles is just like sitting there, like looking at his screen, like what the hell do we do right now?
Yup. And you want to try and make your choice. Like, is there a way back? You are so far behind in gold. You're so far behind in net worth. Even the mentality of this game is Newbee. The only thing going through complexity's mind is how much they are getting owned.
It's one thing for your opponents to have 40 kills, but it's 40 kills with track money. And probably about half of those have involved a track, and that is just absurd amount of gold. Bounty is the second most farmed hero in the game in terms of net worth. As I said, that Spectre gets a tower and overtakes him, but
I just thought the fact that Karka was capable of surviving that without even having to use one charges.
Well, the thing is, he can Guardian Greaves off the dust, and then he goes back in this. So unless they have a second hero with dust, they're not going to actually kill him.
So what do? You're Limp. You're like, okay, well, I'm building towards the BKB. I don't even think that's going to be enough. Yeah, he's switching to Ags now.
You can't go like defensive when you're never going to have enough damage to win or go late game without an Ag Scepter.
The only problem is you're still going to basically be bouncing on KP's Ravage.
Yep, bouncing on the Ravage, the Impale Finger. So many tools fight the Tiny with, but here we go. They're going to smoke up. They're going to go all in for another fight. They're just going to keep trying to force their way through Newbee, hope that they're split up a bit. Karka's gonna scout them out.
They can see everything pretty well. Chuan's the one who's getting on. Force start up the hill. Moo will hit Jesse with a Sonic Wave. He'll pop from the off because they know it. That's why they're attacking him to Z-Bring. Jesse will go down. And you got Swindle. You can set up KP. He's got Rabbit with 3 heroes around him. Hunskin. Relocate. He needs to pull him back out again. Able to do so. Saving the Tiny. Will Swindles be able to get the fight though? There's Observers and Sentries. Even if he had Vendetta, it wouldn't work. Swindles is down. A double kill for Moo. He's 23-1-8 now, and the Courier even feeds in the middle of it all. We can watch it fly off with an Angel Symbol over on our roof here in the hall.
Here's Horn. He could kill Hanskin perhaps in the fountain if he really wanted to, but make it to the fountain safely and looks like not going to commit it.
Alright, we're still 28 minutes in with such dominance. Like, Newbee right now are killing off so many heroes. The one big one they still haven't taken down is Roshan. I don't think they even really need it, but
their
still.
lineup doesn't care about it. It doesn't even take... Oh, well, with an AC on Quap, you perhaps could.
Now, you have AC... Okay, you got everything on everyone right now. Newbee is completely accessorized. No more bling will hit
lads. Yeah. We're doing pretty well on the Newbee side.
Yeah. Just a little bit. And here we go, they go to Roshan. Everyone's back up a little bit. Bring down the big man, and this is now where you prepare to have agency more. You can be a little bit more frivolous with one of the heroes.
Everyone's got their like luxury items. That's the crazy thing here. It's like your Titans just have Blink and Pipe. He's got another 2.3k gold. Moo's got Ultimate Orb on top of the AC now.
Please tell me Sean's also building an Aghanim Scepter. He's got himself a 4-star for his Blink Dang, got all maneuverability you want, but
Could be a BKB.
It could be a BKB, but just for the glory of Chuan, I would like to see something else.
I mean, they have to just keep looking for kills. Your way back into this game is not by trying to outfarm your opponents. You're down 25k net worth. You have this kind of a draft. You've got to gank your way back in this game. Try and isolate heroes. Try and split Newbee apart, but Newbee with an Aegis can just 5-man around, and that's for now what we're seeing.
At least Chessie can add some pressure to this lane.
Dire's top tower
Or try and force someone back from Newbee.
Radiant's bottom
But Hal's
tower
going to take out the
is
bottom
under
tower.
attack.
You got to wrap around from the rest of compLexity. As far from Newbee. As far as vision goes, Chessie has no idea what is behind him, only what's in front of him. But that's not the fight. It's Link with the Ace, undeemed the Observer Watch. KP will be initiated, but it's Chuan who takes that arms to the back line. Knew exactly where to focus them. So Limp is all alone, dying in a corner. Spectre with a double kill. Hal will find more. And now they can just go down mid. The peril is there on top, but it doesn't push fast enough. And you've still got Ravage. You may not have Spectral Horn available, but you got Ravage, you got Drag, and you've got Moo! He's gonna solo up Jesse! Swindles is trying to keep control for now, but Moo, is there a stun? Is there a control? No, there is not. But you still brought down the Ember Spirit, who now has to fly back.
Yep. Newbee can even just disengage here, but how with an 8, they can actually keep attacking this. 3+ flash, a lot of sustain. Then the pipe coming out.
The only issue is you don't have Moo. Yeah. There's no Queen of Pain here. But with that Spider Fist, they're all too close. That's build damage actually does some work. But maybe you don't really care that much either.
Yep. With degrees, there's too much survivability. They need their single target burst damage of the Tiny to realistically engage and get kills to that. So Newbee get a tier 3 tower, they back off a little bit. Roshan Aegis still 3-minute duration left.
It's a K a minute. It's actually a K a minute right now.
Hey, it feels that way.
For golden experience, it's unbelievably good for Newbee. Moo is now going to come back to the fight. No Sonic Wave, don't really care. No Spectral Horn, that doesn't really matter. I'm looking more at KP's at him for the double Perseverance sitting inside of his stash. This Refresher Orb, double Ravages. He got nothing that will survive this. No one with BKB, so he just needs a good position and be mindful of Swindles.
I look around and be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this hero has this one item. And then I'm like, wait, let's click another hero. I'm like, whoa, this hero is like this item. It's 31 minutes. And every single Newbee hero, including like the Lion, who's the forest, has 8k net worth this early on.
So here it is from Newbee. They come up high. Clem going to toss Cal under the tier 4 towers. The mana bring up pretty early. Oh, remember, he's eliminating his team all. Clem taking a huge amount of damage and then relocate out. So a lot of the early damage done by Newbee doesn't really result in sustained damage because Wisp will bring that Tiny back to the front lines. The rack is falling, but you got fortification too. So Newbee don't have this in the bag, but they haven't burned Ravage. Sonic Wave is about to come off cooldown in 23 seconds time, and you've got Spectral Horn.
Yeah, and they've still got the Aegis as well, so they can kind of put Hal back on the front lines, hitting the rack if they want to. We're gonna go for the melee. Lim goes back and misses.
Well, they got to be elite great. There's your Ravage. Watch him bounce up and down. You only get the Anchor Smash deal. Lift's gone. You'll lose the Ember. You'll lose everything. You'll lose home. Newbee, GG, out compLexity. They will go 2-1 in a bloodbath. 51 kills to 12. 32 minutes in, but still, huge props to compLexity. They still take 4th position here in the tournament.
That's the kind of game, like, it's brutal, it's a stomp, it's one-sided, but boy, is it, like, good to watch. Like, that is just some amazing aggressive Dota coming out from Newbee. All-out aggression, they take it to compLexity. They say, this is our tournament. We're going through for the final day.
They had some serious funding, though, coming into that game. When you got all those items, all those positional items, it just makes their play look even better. So you can't take too much away from compLexity. Things went wrong, and it just escalated very, very quickly. But this is what you expect.